Hello guys, and welcome to episode 4 of my Endless Legend playthrough, playing as the Broken Lords. And today we're going to be continuing our exploration and our expansion. We have our settler here, nearly ready to settle in Temperate. And we have our stalwart finishing here in the next turn, and then that can go and explore this ruin. Now, the reason I haven't necessarily been exploring all the ruins as I go is because it's less than ideal to move this hero backwards and forwards when the main idea of the Dust Lords, or the Broken Lords, sorry, is to expand really fast. So I need to find new lands as quickly as possible, and stopping at every ruin kind of slows that down. So anyway, we're all done for this turn, so let's move straight on to the next one. The Stalwart is finished in Scathown, and now let's work on a rider. I'm going to add that to the queue so that I can make another army basically, and then that can go explore in the other direction. So let's jump this Stalwart out the settlement, go explore this ruin. 50 dust, okay, not too bad. Now actually, I'm not sure if I've upgraded the rider yet. No, I haven't. Okay, so let's go into here and give it the Iron Tier 2 armor. And we'll upgrade his hammer, so he gets the extra stun. You can see the Tier 1 one had stun 1, which was 10% chance to stun the target for 2 rounds. And now it's stun 2, so it's 20% chance, which is really good. Now that stun is actually crazy, because 2 rounds in a battle is like a very long time. Now the other thing is, what do we want to have as the accessory? I honestly think it might be worth going for improved initiative, so we'll do that. That will cost us glass steel every time we want to build the unit, but definitely worth it, I think. I think I'm going to have to re-queue that in the settlement now as well. Yeah, you can see it takes 2 turns. So we'll add that there, that's fine. And what else do we want to do? We have 414 dust, so may as well add a population somewhere. Get this guy onto land. And yeah, I think I'll do it in Scathown, to be honest. Add a new population there, and then I can actually build another borough street. So where do I want to place this? Possibly here to get the bonus from the golden tree there. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this works, because technically we're already exploiting this tile, and that's giving us plus 20 approval from the golden tree and the plus 8 energy. But if we actually build the borough street on top of it, it does say that we get like an extra 20, and I'm not entirely sure if that's the case or not. Either way, I'm probably going to place the settlement there, or the borough street, just to make sure that we are exploiting that. And if anyone knows, please let me know in the comment if that is already being exploited, or whether I need to, or whether if I add a borough street to the tile, whether we exploit it doubly or whatever, something like that. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I am still, you know, quite new to the game. I played through a few campaigns on my own, but there are still things I'm learning as I'm going, so please bear with me. But we're going to continue to skip the turns for now as my hero explores. Well, let's go search this ruin. A weapon was lodged within a great mound of glass steel by a mad blacksmith. It is said that the weapon has interesting powers, and it might be worth obtaining. So, new quest added: within a rock in a hard place. There are enough engravings and diagrams around this ruin that even an idiot could understand it. Somewhere in the region, an enormous chunk of glass steel contains a beautifully forged weapon. Only the cleverest among you, however, figured out that this was the work of a smith who thought he could kill the demons in his mind by stabbing a large block of glass steel. Apparently, even the ancient peoples of the planet were given to flights of madness. So don't feel bad if you're having one of those days. Okay, so our objective is to colonize the region Temperate. Okay, so we're about to do that anyway. So let's jump our settler onto land. And I think we were going to go here to get the extra production from that tile early on. And then we can expand in the opposite direction toward the chromatic land there. Okay. So the rider's finished. The borough streets are finished in Dardagar as well. Now let's get the geomic labs and then we'll get another borough street, and I think I was going to place it here so I can exploit the sea tiles. Not sure which one's better to do. Let's go for that one. There we go. And I think this settlement here will just be exploiting the sea tiles. That's all I'm going to do with it in order to improve my dust production. Now, in this settlement we have the rider, so let's make that a new army. We'll add that to the stalwarts, and they can go on a trip across the sea to find out what is about. Great. My hero is going to do the same. I'm actually going to head towards this province over here. And my settler, I think, can actually search this ruin. We get 70 dust for that, great. And then we can actually settle there as well. So we got 20 palladium. Awesome. And now that the region is secure, you must build a glass steel extractor on the deposit in order to get the weapon. Right, so let's possibly just buy that. I don't know how much it's going to cost though. 137, yeah, let's just buy it. That will complete in one turn then. And then we can work on the mill foundry afterwards. Need to move the population from dust to production. And we can add a few more population there as well. Okay, so now we have 3 population there. The other thing I'm going to do as well is get the Seratan settlements rebuilt. So we have those pacified villages adding +2 population to the settlement. And that should work out really nicely. Great. So far so good. And the other thing we need to do as well is build a sewer system here. I'll probably do that before the Seratan settlements actually. So that's all well. Move on to the next turn. Glass to extract the finish. That should complete the quest. Research complete on the central market, so we can start building those in our settlements. And yep, that's done. And here we go. The 37 is a one-hand crossbow. Not quite sure if we're going to use that. We don't have any ranged units, I don't think. So, bravo. With the region secure and the extractor in operation, you are able to extricate the weapon from the glass steel deposit. You wonder what drove the blacksmith to such a strange act. You're not hearing voices, are you? Yeah. So, that is fine. But yeah, that's really quite annoying that that's not a melee weapon because we're not going to be able to use it. I can't equip it on my stalwart, can I? No, I can't because they are not a ranged unit. So the only way we're going to be able to use that is... Actually, is it only available to be used on heroes? Yeah, can only be equipped by heroes. And my guy can't equip it. Okay, so the only way then we're going to exploit that is by buying a mercenary hero that's ranged. And we probably won't be doing that for a while. So ideally I want to jump on land this turn. But we have found a new region. Well, I can't really see what that's called. Talilian or something like that. Talili. We shall find out in the next turn, but that is all. This army is going to continue to move. It looks like there's some land down here, so we'll head towards that. Imminent empire plan as well. Jump onto land. Keep this guy on the move. Still no land. Okay, so looks like there is a lot of water on this map, which is kind of annoying. It does mean that the gameplay is going to be pretty broken up. Let's continue the dye booster. And do I have any other boosters? No, I don't. Just the dye booster at the moment. And gold. Oh, there is gold there. How wonderful. And 70 dust from that ruin. Brilliant. Let's head towards that ruin there before heading in the opposite direction, because I think we've found a substantial amount of land here, which means I can invest in another settler soon. I think I will build it from Ishimlaw after we finish the borough streets. So I'll add that to the queue, and after that we can build a central market. Let's add some more population to Temperate. Great, and that's going to make the mill foundry complete next turn. And we have another dye deposit here. My lord, we're going to have loads of dye. I might have to invest in the market research so I can actually sell that, because at the moment it's not actually that useful when you have a lot, like too much of it. Anyway, let's continue. Explore that ruin. 50 dust, wonderful. Let's head back in the opposite direction. And it looks like we've come across the Wild Walkers. I can tell that because the glass steel extractor there, the design of it is the Wild Walkers. Let's go say hi to them. And yeah, all is well so far. Now we have to be careful because the way diplomacy works in this game is that it starts off as Cold War. And if I actually jump into the diplomatic relations tab, you can see that we know the Draken already. That's because they're a diplomatic nation and they get to figure out where everyone is on the map at the beginning. Or not where they are, but who they are. And yeah, as we figure out who they are, I think the sort of light blue color, like cyan color, is the Wild Walkers, so we'll find that out soon. But yeah, basically everyone starts at Cold War level. And what this means is, or how Cold War works, is that you're allowed to attack each other in neutral territory. Obviously this will piss them off, but you can do it. And if they walk into your lands, you can attack them. But they can't attack you without technically declaring war. So that's only in your own land. If it's neutral territory, it doesn't matter who attacks who. If it's in your own territory, then they can't attack you without declaring war. That's basically how it works. So yeah, anyway, with that explained, let's move on. And it's winter, of course it is. Just when I want to explore. So we're going to be working on the settler in Ishimlaw. That's perfectly fine. We have a new technology to choose. Now, what was our main quest? I think it was 12 Era 1 researches. So yeah, why haven't we completed that yet? I guess I'll have to add another one to the queue then. Let's go for search party. And then we'll go towards the Dust Bishop. Or is the market research unlocked here? Yeah, mercenary market. Let's go for that actually. And then we'll go for the Dust Bishop. Great. So let's hopefully engage in diplomatic relations with the Wild Walkers now. Nope, doesn't look like we can. We can add another population though. You can see our dust production is like cut in half. It's horrible. So let's add the extra population there in Temperate. Already has 6 population and is going to have plenty more. So let's expand the settlement towards the chromatic land. We can actually start investing in the central markets. Now these do use up glass steel, as you can see in the cost in the tab just above. Now science buildings will start using the titanium as well. The resources work like the blue is used for science buildings, and the yellow glass steel is used for like dust buildings and happiness buildings, I think. So that's why it's so important to get those extractors working as soon as possible. Now we've actually bumped into the Ardent Mages. I'm not sure where that is. Are they in my lands? Like, I can't see them. How did they contact me? There is a couple of neutral armies. We've got a roaming army there with some daemons, and we've got the village there with the new race that we just discovered. I can't really show you, but the Nidja, they have like these flying units with spears, basically. Probably shouldn't have clicked it off so quickly. But anyway, we're going to be wasting a lot of turns with this winter. It's going to be really annoying. Let's go explore that ruin. 50 dust, great. Boosting our population a lot in our settlements. Saratan's settlements are going to be finished soon. At Scathown, let's work on a central market, and after that the Glory of Empire. And at Ishimnor, we can add the Glory of Empire to the queue as well. We can do the same here. Now the central market, again, is pretty important. We've got to increase our happiness. You can see currently we're unhappy, and that has a negative modifier on our production and food production. Now, food production, again, not really important for the Broken Lords, but we need to get this happiness up so we can boost the production. At the moment it's not so much of an issue because we're so far ahead in our buildings. Come on, Wild Walkers, just say hi to me. Apparently they don't want to at the moment. Our Empire plan is available. Let's go check out this ruin. 50 dust. Okay, we're getting a lot of dust. So we have 305 influence points. I think we want to go towards the 25 on cities there, but we can't really afford to without sacrificing the +3 dust per population on cities. So what I might do is just like that. We'll get the extra vision on units. It'll be good to have that if I'm trying to explore at the moment. The extra 20% unit production cost reduction on cities could be useful, but not at the moment, as I'm not really building armies in a hurry. So yeah, we'll just get the +2 vision on units there added on, and that should help us explore. So let's go over here. We can actually explore this ruin. Still not sure how the Ardent Mages saw me, unless they are on my land somewhere. So the mercenary market complete. That will complete our quest, I think. Hopefully. Saratan settlement finished. And we've encountered a new minor faction, the Herners, basically the Orcs. There's the Wild Walkers saying hi, and oh, there's the Ardent Mages. They have a 5-stack army. That's pretty nasty. I wouldn't want to be fighting that right now. Now let's move towards this settlement and pacify it. There's another gold deposit there. Wow. So even though this region is really small, what's it called? Smezro. Even though that's really small, getting this region and this region together to just get the gold would be epic for me, because I'm the Broken Lords and I require a lot of dust, and getting -50% dust upkeep on city upkeep is it's really, really good. It's really, really good. Okay, so anyway, let's attack this settlement. We're probably just going to auto-resolve that, to be honest. Don't need to fight that. That's going to damage my hero, actually, quite a bit. Let me just jump into the tile point of view. I want to see where I could place a settlement. We could probably place the settlement kind of near the gold deposit to begin with. Although I think we would have to place it on this hill. There's no anomalies in that region, which is, you know, pretty bad for creating a settlement, but the gold deposit there is so worth it. So we have a settler nearly done, and then we can... Yeah, it was called Tellilian. That was a good guess. I think I've seen the name before, but yeah, Tellilian. We will be placing a settlement here somewhere. I'll figure that out once we get closer. But now we've said hi to the wild walkers. Let's continue to explore. Now, I was talking about the wild walkers, I think, a few episodes back, and saying how they have really good units. You can see the Dakari Rangers here. They're basically really long range. And yeah, you can see they have the 4-tile range, which is horrible to play against. So we don't want to go to war with them at the moment. So we're going to try and avoid them at all costs. But I will continue to explore around their lands, try and pick up the ruins, unless they expel me from their lands, because you can do that. You can basically say to nations that they have to declare war on you in order to enter their lands. Or your lands, sorry. But I've got to, I think, tech into the diplomatic relations in order to do that. So the settler complete, central market, they're going to be built in Ishimlaw, central market complete in Scathown. So summer has returned, great, that's really good for us. I really don't want this army to attack me, because it can attack me. We do actually get a massive view range. So I want to wipe out this Daemon army, and we will kill off the Kazanji settlement there, which is the Daemon's home. Let's get the new army out of Ishimlaw, and we'll head towards Tellilian. Now if we just go to the tiles here, I think we will settle possibly here. Because then we will still be exploiting the anomaly, but we'll also get the dust from the sea. And the extra production from the forest is nice, although it doesn't give us dust. But it's good early on to do that. And I can just expand like around the water on the edge here. And then we can build a deposit, or a extractor, sorry, to get the gold. So yeah, we'll head towards that tile there. Great. Now... turn that back off. Can we afford to buy a population anywhere? Probably in Ishimlaw. Yeah, we'll add the extra population back to that settlement. Let's get our dudes on land and explore that ruin. Great, we got an extra 50 dust again. It's a shame that we're not getting more quests, because the side quests are really interesting in this game. Kind of give you a distraction whilst you're going through the early game. So we're going to be fighting against the Daemons. I think I might fight this one manually. Now I've got to be careful with these Daemons, because they do have an attack called Chain Lightning. And yeah, it deals normal damage to the initial target and 20% to opponents adjacent to the target. And then it spreads from that. So they basically, you guys know what Chain Lightning is. It basically bounces from one unit to the other if they are adjacent to each other, which can be really frustrating when you're fighting these enemies. It's kind of hard to space your units out enough in order to stop them from doing it. So I might just have to ignore it and just go all in. But anyway, let's launch the battle. You'll see that all my units will be attacking the same enemy, but they actually have more initiative than me, so they'll probably choose their targets. A nice 81 damage there. So there you saw the Chain Lightning affect that unit. Now this one's going to bounce it all the way down. Yep, that hurt. My units have spaced out nicely, actually. So I'm probably just going to keep them where they are. We're going to all attack this unit. Although, I might just get my hero to finish off this one with one of the stalwarts. Yeah, let's just target like that. See if we can finish off this Daemon here. My hero taking an absolute beating. That Daemon is now dead. That's going to heal both those units back up. Great. Now we're going to... How are we going to do this? Yeah, probably best we keep it like that. My hero only doing 40 damage, that's a shame. I wish these had like a taunt ability. Stop them from attacking my hero. Need a nice big crit. Well, 87 damage is enough, I think. But my hero is dead. He should resurrect after the battle. So let's just continue this. Stalwarts have such high defense that the Daemons are actually having trouble doing damage to them. Some nice healing there. Let's finish off this Daemon. And some more healing, hopefully. Oh, maybe not. Okay. You can see my hero is alive still because of the last stand perk that he has. He is on very low health, so I'm going to heal him back up with the dust to make sure that he doesn't die again. And let's move on to attack the settlement there in the next turn. I'm actually going to move on an extra couple of tiles just so that we can see the land that we are working with. Let me just zoom out. Wow, there's a lot of anomalies here close together. That would be a really nice place to set a settlement. Yeah, especially for me. You've got some crystal flowers there, we've got the hidden springs, we've got the chromatic land. Just setting a settlement here at the start would be insane. Wow. Yeah, so definitely going to invest in a settlement for Nyagor. Great. Okay, so let's move on to Lillian with that settler, and we will invest in another one very shortly. I could probably get away with building the settler at Dutherad, actually. Only going to take 4 turns. We'll make sure that the Empire Mint is built after that, along with the Public Library and Geomic Lab. We will get then the Central Market, and all is well. Okay. We're going to want the dust filtration as well, so we get the extra dust from sea tiles. So let's advance this army onward. Find some more land. So that's Zagorok, or Zagorak. A couple of ruins here to explore, so that's good for our rider there. And we'll end the turn. Let's pacify this village. And what's this secondary fight here that we've got going on? Oh dear. So the wild walkers decided to attack me. Well, we'll deal with this first. The daemons. I think we might just auto-resolve this. There we go. Nice and easy. And then what we can do is leave this battle until next time, because unfortunately it has been my time. So what I'll likely do is probably just retreat from that anyway. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.